Travel Podcast. I'm here with Maisy today.
Hiya.
So we're just going to ask a few questions about her tour, her trip, and how she found it. So do you want to explain who you are and which tour you did with us?
Yes, so I'm Maisy. I did the 12-day adventure in Thailand.
What made you do Camp Thailand, or how did you find us?
So I've always wanted to travel and I've always wanted to go with friends, but it's never matched up or aligned. They've got different priorities, or they can't afford it, or they can never get the time of work. And Thailand's been my top destination. So I was researching a bit and I came across Camp Thailand and I thought, oh, amazing. I can meet people out there, so I'm not completely alone. And it was it made it possible for me to actually do it. So I was I think I've just got to book it and go for it.
Yeah, I was saying with Bethany with the last podcast, I feel it's so hard nowadays for everyone in your friendship group to decide which tour you which place you want to go to, for everyone to decide on something to do. It's so hard nowadays.
Yeah, that's the thing. With my job now, they're so lenient with travel as well, and I just thought I'm just not going to get this opportunity again. Of course I'd love to be with my bestest friends, and I'm sure I will at some point, but it was just more I've got the chance, I need to do something with it.
You may as well do it when you're this age as well, because I feel it's so much easier to meet people the same age as us as well whilst doing it. So
But yeah, definitely.
What would you say was your favourite part of the programme?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, all of it. So my favourite bit was definitely the PP Islands. Honestly, it was so weird because the water was so blue. Normally I have to get a boat trip to see water like that, but the whole island was surrounded by it, and I just thought that was absolutely stunning.
I'd literally say that's my favourite part as well. I feel everyone's obsessed with PP Island, especially when you go snorkeling as well, because the sea life there is insane.
Yeah, this is the thing, I was low-key scared of fish, but I was I need to push myself out my comfort zone. Yeah. So I jumped in and I saw there were yellow fish, and I was wow, they're so pretty. And then I was okay, now I need to get back on the boat.
So you said that you went solo traveling. How did you find that, and what advice would you give to someone who maybe wants to do solo traveling, or doesn't know where to start with it?
Yeah, so this was actually my first time solo traveling at all, and it was the second time I've done a long haul flight as well, so I was a bit oh, not sure. My tip was, I know it's a bit more expensive, but I actually booked a direct flight because I just wasn't sure about doing the layover for my first time being solo. So that kind of eased my anxiety a little bit. But then the girls I met on the tour did do a stop, and they said it was so easy, just leave enough time for the layover. So I'd probably just do that next time. But it was so easy. I was proper stressing for no reason. I was literally YouTubing walkthrough of Heathrow Airport to figure it out, because I've just never done it. But it was so easy. I dropped my bag off as you walk in, and then the rest is signposted. Got on the flight, had my 3 meals. I had so many movies and offline TikTok videos downloaded, and then it just flew by. And then it was fine once I arrived, because there was actually a girl on the tour on my flight. So we went through passport border control together, and then JR tour was literally stood outside of passport control. So it was easy.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. It does obviously help, because a lot of people, I think they do stress that they're going to be on their own the whole flight, and so half the time you do end up meeting people that are on your tour anyways, because obviously you're all flying the same day. So most likely if you're flying from Manchester or London, there'll be someone else who's on your tour on the flight anyways. So yeah, it's definitely a lot easier. And how would you say solo traveling got yourself out of your comfort zone, or how's it affected your day-to-day life?
Yeah, I was looking for a change, because I work from home and I didn't go to university either. So being I guess a teenager in lockdown, I just felt I hadn't had enough socializing in my young years. So that's why I really booked this. But yeah, it was so good to just be who am I gonna be without my friends around me? I'm gonna have to meet a group of new people, which seems so daunting, but when you really think about it, everyone was in the same boat. And it was just so fascinating to see people's different personalities band together, and everyone just got on with their best friends, and it just made sense. So that definitely helped me to be right, I can socialize. I'm not some shy, reserved person. I actually realize I'm quite a confident, chatty person. So that was great. And then just Weirdly, I feel like I push myself more out my comfort zone when I'm not with people I'm really close to. I'm like really stubborn. Like if I'm on a family holiday, I would have never jumped off the boat because I've like said, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I've stood by that. But being around strangers, you can kind of like not reinvent yourself, but just do what you want.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I was like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to do that. And made me a more confident person. So like now, if I like meet another group of people or do another tour, like I'm not going to be as anxious because I know that I can do it.
Yeah, I feel like it also sets you up for like if you obviously want to do more solo traveling afterwards without a tour group, it's definitely a good stepping stone to obviously take that big leap afterwards.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Massively, yeah, because I couldn't like picture myself just booking somewhere long haul and going alone, like because I think like there was even some place like we were like watching people on the beaches, like trying to figure out like who was like backpacking, like who was solo and stuff, and like watching them, I was like, I just feel like if I'd done that straight away, like throwing myself in the deep end, I don't think it would have been amazing. So like doing this first definitely is like, oh yeah, next time if I wanted to, I could definitely do it.
Yeah, 100%. How did you find your tour guide? Like having a Thai tour guide?
Oh my gosh, literally my best friend. I love her. Like, no, she was amazing. Jo was like similar in age to us, and she like come out with us clubbing a couple of times. It was the funniest thing. Like everyone was like looking at her like she was a mother, but then also like a sister. So like, it was just so funny. Like she would sort everything. Like we always used to say like, we need Jay now. Like now I'm back home, I miss her itineraries. Like every day she'd send like a WhatsApp message, and I'm such an organized person, so I love having like a step-by-step sort of like guide. And I've come back home and I'm like, I can't function without it. Like I've like tried to do my own now. But yeah, she was so amazing. Like I even like cut my foot one day, first aid like that. Like she's just like, I guess like your mother, but also would come like partying with us and give us suggestions. She'd leave sometimes, leave us to it in our free time. But she'd always send suggestions, and like literally if you message her on WhatsApp, she'd respond like that.
I think people like wonder all the time, like, does it feel so strict like a school trip? Like, and I think it's nice just to have that balance between like, yes, I'm safe, but also like you still have your independence to do your own thing as well. It's kind of like a nice mixture.
Yeah, definitely, because that's the thing, like because she was similar in age, like even if like it was older, I feel like all the tours, like I've seen videos of the others, they all just seem so like fun as well. So it's not like a teacher vibe, like they're never going to tell you off for anything. But like she'd just come out of us, sometimes she'd come for a meal, and then like she'd be like, all right, I'm off now, just give me a message. So I think it was best of both worlds, really.
What would you say, like, how did you feel like the accommodation was? Because I think a lot of people have the perception that it's hostels, that it's not great, so...
Oh my god, no, like I sent photos to my auntie who's done backpacking around Thailand, and she was like, that's not backpacking. And I was like, I never said I was going backpacking, like, but she was like, that's gorgeous. She was like literally looks like you're staying in 5-star hotels. Like my favorite one, there was a couple to be honest, but I think it was the one in PP was just gorgeous, like the views and just like having your own space, just having a balcony, like I love it all. And then most of the ones I stayed at anyway had pools, and which is just great because in your free time, if you're not sure, like you can't be bothered to walk anywhere, like we just tan. But I thought it was so good. Breakfast, I think we got in most of them, stunning. I made my own waffles in the last place, so that was great. I was really impressed with the accommodation, to be honest.
If you were to do another camp program, which country is next, or like where are you thinking of going next? Have you got any travels booked, planned?
So the 3 girls I met on Camp Thailand, we're in a group chat. We're meeting up soon actually, but we really want to book Camp Philippines, like maybe next year. Just depends how our jobs line up. But if they line up, we're looking to do the Camp Philippines. If there is a 2-week one, then probably something like that.
Gosh, that's actually so amazing. And it's also so cool that like you obviously still speak to people on the program, and like that you're like really close now. It was just amazing.
Like there's 2 girls from Liverpool, like I'm down south by London, so to have like different ends of the UK but to like get on like so well is so nice. Talk like literally Snapchat spams every day. It's so funny.
How would you say is like making friends on the program? Like how easy, hard did you find it?
I feel like I wasn't sure how I was going to be. As I said, like I've not really done that much socializing since school, but naturally I am a bit of a confident, chatty person. So I think that kind of came to my aid. But I think because everyone's in the same boat, everyone's just a bit like, we have to talk, like we've got to make this work type thing. When I'm nervous, I tend to like over talk. So at the welcome dinner, I must have been like literally just interrupting everyone, like but I think it just made sense, like looking at it from a bird's eye point of view, like throughout the week, like you just saw people that gelled better, like start to go to dinner together, and then there would never be anyone left out. Obviously Jay's there anyway, but like it would always be like, even if someone wasn't really like your cup of tea, like it was just a given that you'd all go to dinner together for the first few days and like figure things out. And then like because you change rooms as well like a few times, and then like when you find like me and a girl called Memes, we got on really well, and I was like, oh, I want you to be my roommate for the rest of the trip, do you know what I mean? And it took like maybe 4 or 5 days to like create that connection. So I think best advice is just be super chatty and outgoing. Try not to be reserved or shy, because I think it like limits you a little bit. But like obviously be authentic, don't like change who you are, because then you meet the people that are supposed to like get on with you specifically.
Yeah, like we were saying in the last podcast, like you obviously are going to gel with more, like with some people more, and obviously maybe not gel with other people, but I think it's nice that everyone sort of finds someone, at least one other person that they do get on with really well.
And see like throughout the weeks, like also saying it's a little bit like Love Island, like I've never understood it, but like when you're with like a group of people for like every day, all day for like that amount of time, you become like way closer, way quicker. Like I'd say me and the girls I'm talking to still, like we skipped levels in the friendship, because it was like not intense in a bad way, but like you're with each other all day, every day, so you just speed up the friendships, and that I really liked about it.
Yeah, I literally met like 2 girls when I did Camp Thailand last year, and like you feel like you've known each other like your whole life, like you feel like you've known each other for years, because obviously you're with each other for so long.
But we were having deep chats on like the 5th day, and I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, no, it's a great way to like actually like make stronger connections, I'd say, as well. And what would you say was like your favorite activity out of all of the activities?
I think like, I don't know, because I loved the boat tour, like, but I always love a boat tour. But I actually think the thing that took me by surprise that I really enjoyed was the kayaking. I kind of forgot we were going to do that. Like I'd obviously seen the itinerary before, but it was like more towards the end of our trip, so I kind of forgot about it. And then like it was kayaking through the mangroves, and like I used to watch H2O and they'd always mention it, and I was like, oh my gosh, fangirling over something like weird. But I was super excited, and then when I got there I was a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because like it looked like quite a big lake, and he said it connects to the ocean, and I was like, how's this working, do you know what I mean? But then he got in the front and kind of showed us how to do it, and it was really easy. Like I was in the front, felt like an Olympian, like probably because Memes in the back was a professional paddleboarder in her day, so she knew what she was doing. But yeah, it was really good. And then it was like really narrow, but like so funny, like trying to like navigate your way through and seeing all these really cool mangroves. And that took me by surprise, because I was like, forgot about it. Then I was a bit nervous, but I think it was the best bit. Like I took my GoPro and like I show everyone, I'm like, it's something I've never seen before. It's not the norm, like a normal boat trip with nice water. Like this is really unique. And also our tour was like telling us about some fun facts, that like the mangroves create their own oil and put it into the lake as well. And I was just like, wow. I mean, I love a fun fact and things, so that experience was definitely probably my favorite.
Oh my gosh, amazing. And then final question I'm going to ask is, what would you say to someone who's thinking of booking Camp Thailand, maybe unsure, like what piece of advice would you give to them?
I think you've got to go for it. Like, honestly, you're not going to regret it. You definitely won't regret it. You know what I mean? You're going to learn more about the world and yourself. And I think everyone should do that, is be open-minded to things, push out your comfort zone. And if that doesn't just have to be activities, but food. Like, I used to be a really picky eater, and I was a bit worried, but I loved everything out there. And then there was loads of like English options too. But it's just to have that option and to put yourself in a new environment, just to like see how you react and if you enjoy it, and it's the most beautiful place ever, so you're going to love it.
I think as well, like there's always a flight home, isn't there? Like if anything goes really bad, there's always a flight home, but you're never gonna know unless you go and try and do something different.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I booked the 2-week one, because like I've never even been away from home longer than 2 weeks, so I was a bit like, this is a test in the water, and now I've done this, I know that I could probably do either a different location or a longer tour, or if I wanted to go completely solo, I could backpack. Like I just think Camp Thailand's really good, or Camp Bali, any of it is a good way to test the waters, I think, if you're like starting your traveling like journey.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think that's everything for today. So I just want to say thank you so much, Maisy, for joining us today. And if you have any last words before we go?
No, I think that's it. I just think definitely book it.
Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time on the podcast. Bye.